But I mean, if you want to go into Microsoft, we can.
Well, two more points. Two more points. I know, depending on how we fall back on it.
It's a really funny video about Halo Reach that I had just shared amongst us.
Okay.
Or something. It's from the Ego Raptors Awesome series from years ago.
Oh yeah,
Ego Raptor. Oh, dude.
I do know that video.
We'll probably share that on our social media. Or something.
Halo Reach.
It is.
We'll probably share that on our threads or something. Shout out to that.
Oh my! Yes, we should share that. But anyways. Yeah.
I mean, the two other points I'll say for gaming, then we'll get into the one title before, one subject line before we get to Microsoft and really talk about that. Final Fantasy IX's remake, possible issues. Square Enix, I guess, will be behind all that, and we're just, I guess, trying to see where that might go. Following the mild success of the remake titles for Final Fantasy VII, I just think for me personally, I'll say this. I'm on the type of time that Final Fantasy should just kind of retire.
Excuse me?
Really?
I think Final Fantasy should retire because there's so many other titles like it now. We're talking Metaphors, we're talking Expedition 33s. I'm just saying, unless you're going to adapt.
That's just like saying though that.
That's what I think. I could be wrong. I'm not saying my opinion is right or wrong.
Pokemon should retire though,
just
because there's other RPGs.
Yeah.
That's just like
I would say that about Pokemon too.
Call of Duty should stop because there's all these other first-person shooters.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel that way too.
No, you can't have a one size.
This is a hot take. This is. I think this is a hot take.
This is spicy.
I know. I realized that with y'all's reaction to all three of the points that y'all made.
You know what? Cornered, you go first. You go first, Cornered.
Sure, gladly. I mean, you need a better reason than that to stop. Honestly, you need a better reason. I mean, you can't just say stop it because there's other competitors coming.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't think that's a reason to stop. I think you're right. It does have to adapt. It does have to evolve. It does have to grow. And I think that's where we see some games, if they become stagnant over years, then I think they fall off. We saw what happened to Assassin's Creed. That lasted a long time. That was a trendsetter. But guess what? Ghost of Yote, better than Assassin's Creed is probably ever going to ever be again. And that's perfectly fine because they didn't do what they probably should have done. They got too formulaic and too iterative, right?
And that's I think the key. The key is not that one size should fit all. The key is that I think Final Fantasy and Assassin's Creed and some of these other games have lost what makes them unique among the RPGs.
That's right.
I know that they're not RPGs, but
they are. They are. You're playing a character.
Well, sorry, I said Assassin's Creed, and then I said also Final Fantasy, so I was bridging genres there. But what I meant is that they've lost their identity as to who they are within their respective genres, right? So you've got, among single player games, you've got your God of Wars, you got your Horizon Zero Dawns, you have your Assassin's Creeds, you've got your Legend of Zeldas, even now.
Yep.
But what makes them unique, of course, is their world, and then also how they play and how they engage the player. Yes, I think Final Fantasy simply needs to adapt and evolve, but maintain its own identity to make it unique from the other RPGs that are out there. Not that it should just go away. Make another Final Fantasy 16, 17. I don't even remember where they're at.
We're on 17 now.
The next one would be 17.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So do that, but also don't alienate the audience to try to bring in the new ones. Monster Hunter is having that issue right now, where they've gone so mainstream that they're making things so accessible that they're not allowing players to really struggle with the world and live in it. There's a design difference between having to track the monster, having to a hunter is not just a person that goes up against a boss so that you drain its health bar. That's not what a hunter is. A hunter is somebody that tracks the monster, that learns the ecology, that actually finds out where does this thing live? What does it eat? And then it learns its weaknesses, it learns its strength, and then adapts to actually take the monster down. That's a hunter.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Of old. Now we have rifles. But, like, that's a hunter.
Yep.
So, Final Fantasy, like, Cornered, what would you say makes a Final Fantasy game unique to other RPGs?
Well, it's changed. I think back in the day, Final Fantasy had a unique formula. Like, that was unique to Final Fantasy. And then
Its art was one of them.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say its style was one of them. And then, over time, other games started to adopt similar things, as they do with trendsetters, right? They start to follow. But Final Fantasy was still the peak, the pinnacle, so to speak.
Right.
Over the last decade and a half, right? Like, less so. Other games have come out and made really good RPGs in different styles that have been great. Final Fantasy, well, you know, you have summons, you have icons, you got Sid, you know what I'm saying? You know the things that are constant, you know what I'm saying? And cool, those will stay constant. At the end of the day, we just expect a good RPG with good cinematics at this point. I mean, I think the expectation for Final Fantasy is that you give me a good RPG game. I think 15 dropped the ball a little bit because it could have been better. Basically, 14, I thought, awesome.
14 is still going. 14 is the online aspect.
Still going. And the people who made 14 were also behind 16. And 16, I thought 16 was phenomenal. And not because it did anything revolutionary per se. I mean, their combat system was very much real-time combat and much more faster paced, fast twitch muscles kind of combat. But it worked, and it was really good. They did what Forspoken could not do, and actually glue their combat together in a cohesive way. They did that very well done. And the last thing I'm going to say is that they created that world, and they do it in most of their games. They create that world, they immerse you in it. I think 16 did a great job with it because Clive, the GOAT, was a millennial. And because Clive was in his 30s, in his mid-30s, struggling with a hurt back and sore knees, struggling trying to save everybody. And not only that, but Clive was also the strongest Final Fantasy protagonist that there is ever. And I think those things helped your case. They made something exciting. The Clive Bahamut fight was a Dragon Ball fight. That was hype.
Yeah,
I was watching cinematics like, oh my god! Like
I was missing button presses sometimes. The joint was kind of crazy.
Yes, I would literally miss button presses on the QuickTime events because I'm just like, yo, Bahamut just shot, Bahamut just shot his, whatever, right?
The beam, yeah.
Shooting this crazy beam out the sky, right? And Clive is trying to block it, and I'm sitting there like, this looks just like a, Kamehameha from space. That is being, like it looks like this beam battle almost. Right?
Yeah.
It's great. So, like, I think they delivered in those moments. That's what 16. But that said, I'm gonna make a parallel also, right? You got Sea of Stars, Paper Mario, Persona, Expedition 33, that are really bringing the hype of turn-based back. And turn-based is something that, a lot of people love and are nostalgic about, but they love. It's a method of gaming also. It's a type of game, and a lot of people miss it. And I think the challenge has always been, how do we make it something that is good and enjoyable? And Expedition 33's even wasn't perfect, but I think Final Fantasy has so much that it can lean on to make the next iteration of it. It's crazy. Think about Apple. People are like, oh, Apple, Android's had this for a while. Well, once Apple gets it, then it's big time. You know what I'm saying? If Final Fantasy 17 does what Expedition 33 does, get the fuck out of here.
And that's the key. Honestly, this should excite us as gamers in the fact that how competition should work. If the new upstarts can do RPGs or a genre of gaming better than the old corporate people that have been in there for a while, then to compete, the people that have been there are going to have to now scale and appropriately make better games to compete with the newer stuff. I mean, if I were Square Enix right now, I'd be sweating after seeing Expedition 33. If I was in the single-player game industry, I'd be sweating after seeing, Black Myth Wukong and seeing what these people can do. If the indies are starting to be able to do stuff like that, then there really is no excuse at this point with the companies with money should be able to put out. But initiatives and people, overstepping and red tape and getting in their own way, that's going to stifle creativity. It's one of the reasons I think Pokemon is getting in their own way right now. You can see there are a bunch of monster tamers that are coming out now, threatening the crowd. You see what Pal World did. I'm looking at the new Digimon game that's coming out, Digimon Storytime Strangers. That looks great.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm looking at Legends ZA, but I'm also kind of like, all right, let's see what you got.
So to my point about them retiring, it was harsh. I will apologize on that one.
No, it's fine because I think it's fine. I think what you're really saying is something different. That's why I'm okay. I think, and this is just me. You can let me know if I'm wrong. I think what you're really saying is, hey, Final Fantasy, like, get me excited again. You know, take me there again. I think that's what you're saying.
Right. Take me back to turning the PlayStation on, Final Fantasy VII.
Put a smile on your face. Right.
Like I'm saying, that joint was just like on the one, and you zoom in on the train, and Cloud flips off the train, and like, you know what I'm saying, like, or 10 doing the blitz ball, Auron standing there like this, the city didn't destroy it, and he's just like standing there, it's like, what is happening right now?